Hello Darts Nuts, welcome to Darts Review channel, and here we are, another dart from my Alien Darts brand, and one that I did a preview of a few weeks ago. This is the Sentinel Evolved Phase 1. Now there's two phases and the second one will be coming sometime after this. Obviously got to do it in order. It's an unusual barrel, it's a short barrel, but it's kind of based on my original Sentinels, which were the ball shaped darts, and this one is like a ball and taper. Now originally when I did the first CAD design of these, I didn't do it personally, somebody else do it, I just give them the idea. I sent it off to get a sample made, but I'd actually done an updated design and I forgot to send the updated design off, so I kind of got these by mistake as the original sample set, but I threw them and I thought, you know what, they feel quite nice, I'm just going to get the two designs made. So that's why I've got a phase 1 and a phase 2. The other ones have more machining on them, but these ones are actually a fair bit cheaper. So these ones are £48.95, so I'll put the link up in the description so you can buy a set from my site if they take your fancy. Now I would say that if you're normally throwing a 22 or 23 gram, you still might be okay with these because of the way the balance is, because of that ball shape, and you may find it quite an interesting dart, but like everything, unless you get a chance to try it, you'll never know. But anyway, I don't believe it. 180? No. Actually, it was two single 20s and a double. Let's check them out. So they're only available in 21 gram and only in steel tip, the 90% tungsten, and the retail for £48.95. So as before, the darts are still supplied in the tin cases that I got made originally, because these were meant to be out before I did the cardboard box ones, and inside the tin it's just the barrels only with a point holder, but I will send you a set of the Alien Darts stems and a set of the Alien Darts standard shape flights. Right, I'm doing the sound on this afterwards because the mic must have been faulty, so there's loads of crackles on the original video, but it's a weird shape, barrel shape, as you can see. It's kind of like a ball and taper, which was an old unicorn style actually, but it was more based on my original Sentinel darts, which were made by Vox, and I think they still sell them on their site, whereas with that one the ball was at the front, so I've kind of moved it a little bit more to the middle and put a tapered section on the front. The rear section is still quite similar to the original, but those kind of like wide V grooves give you something to like kind of feel and push against, and the rear grip is very subtle, but it's just, I would say, just enough for most people, but it feels great no matter where you're throwing it because it's a short, nicely balanced dart basically. Once again, the original sound was all crackly, so I'm doing this afterwards. As you can see on the front section, you've got the Alien Darts logo, so quite a long taper there, and then you've kind of got an inverse taper, and that leads into the ball shape, so almost looks like a TIE fighter kind of shape like on Star Wars, but that little groove at the front gives you a nice little bit of a slope to push against with your thumb, and like I said, you can use the ball or the rear section, but you can grip it anywhere really, and the rear section is just a kind of very subtle step down ring grip, so it's not massively grippy there, but it just gives you a little bit of traction, and I think also the gold tie coating just adds a little bit to the grip feel. But there you go. So the darts fit with a black coated 28mm point. You've got a tapered nose, so basically the front section is a full taper, 9mm, and you've got the gold tie coating on it, and then you've kind of got the ball grip section, which is got the kind of inverse tapers either side, which are about 2.5mm, and the ball shape or sphere is 7mm wide, and then on the rear section it tapers to the end with that kind of very subtle step down ring grip. That's 16mm, length is 37mm, and the widest is 8mm. 21.07 grams. 21.07 grams again, and 21.08 grams. Full setup, 22.85 grams. Here's the balance with nothing attached and with the supplied setup. It's mostly a low level grip, as you can see, but you could class the grooves either side of the ball as a grip section, so maybe 5.5 at most. Let's give them a throw and see how they go. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hold it first. I've got kind of like the edge of my thumb in that kind of like V-shape groove between the taper and the ball, so that kind of gives you something to push against. Oh, got trouble. And I think that's how I was throwing them when I first got them, and then it flies quite nice from there though. But when I started playing with them more, then I moved on to the ball shape, and then I moved a little bit more up, and then eventually I moved to the rear grip, and I played with them from the rear grip for a while, and then this was with the sample set, and I managed to get a 180 from the rear grip eventually. So I must have been throwing better at the time than what I am now. There we go, there's the jerky throw again. Oh, treble 5 champion. But I do quite enjoy throwing these. It's just one of them nice feeling barrels. It's slightly quirky, but it kind of fun and just a very nice balance, and also it kind of flies quite smooth. But like I say, often when you get a shot dart, they often fly quite smooth though. I don't know, it's just down to the way the balance is of them. But I'll try fully on the ball sphere shape now, so I still can feel a little bit of the edge either side of that V groove, but mostly on the ball shape, and that kind of feels like as if you're throwing a marble, which is kind of like one of the things that I was thinking about. People often say throw the dart as if you're holding a pea or a marble, as if you're throwing it into a waste paper basket, and you can get that sensation with these because of that. I think it's actually flying smoother from that position. Oh, there's the trouble. It's just my throw. I'm just not getting anything right with it at the moment. Definitely flying nicer through the air from that position on the dart, so fully on the ball shape there. So now again I'm just going to move it up onto the next kind of V-shaped groove. Now after a while, when I moved to that position before and I was playing around the board on doubles, I seem to be doing better on the doubles holding it from there. It's kind of strange actually. But again, it was with the sample set, which is a slightly different ball shape. I think it's the one that's closer to the phase 2. Oh, thought that was 2 trebles there, but not treble 1 champion. So finally I'll try it fully from the rear position. Ooh, that sounds a bit rude. But I didn't put a lot of grip on that rear section because it was meant to be just like a similar one to what was on the original Sentinels. So it's only a subtle feeling grip. But again, balance is really nice. Might take me a few throws to get into the groove of it though. There we go, there's the jerky throw again. But I said before that although the 21 gram if you're into your 22 or 23 gram, you still might be okay with these because of the fact that it's a short barrel and obviously the way it's balanced. But I know it's a bit risky when you order things online and you're not sure. But I think it may surprise you. One last try from that rear section. Can't quite get the hang of it today. Now that went the smoothest out of them all, but there's nowhere near the target. But there you go. I mean, like I said, it's slightly unusual dart. There's obviously no getting around that fact, but I think it's really nicely balanced, and partly down to the fact it's a short dart, but it's quite interesting to throw. It's hard to describe really. I find it probably better from the front V and fully on the ball shape, but I've done all right from that second V as well. And like I said before, I was going through like a phase of testing each position on it, and eventually I even hit a 180 from the rear grip when I got into a groove with them. So it could work for any grip position really. But these will be on my site hopefully after this review's gone live. What were the £48.95, so it's not stupidly expensive. I think that's quite a reasonable price really for these. I was thinking about making them a little bit higher, but I thought I'll try and keep the interest, so I'll put the price a little bit less. But I'm happy to find out whether people like them or not, and I just had fun throwing them and coming up with this crazy ideas for them as well. So I'll just leave you with the gallery so you can have a better look at them. And also, if you haven't bought an Alien shirt, get one. You know green's the best. Right, I'll see you on the next one. Happy darting.